Oh, hi. There's one. And another. Couples everywhere. Die! 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 And just one for good luck. There we go. I'm sorry. Are they just mocking me now? Are they literally just following me to the cinema to sit next to me in an open cinema right next to me and start making out in the middle of a fucking Disney movie? A Disney movie. There is a U on the front door. Universal, suitable for all. May contain scenes of mild fret or slight terror, or parents usually being wiped out by nasty, uncles. Not scenes of making out, scenes of a sexual nature. That doesn't happen in a U. That's a PG. Or a PG-13, or a 12, or a 15, or an 18. Not a U, not a kids' movie. And it was typical of the sort as well. The typical sort of, the kind of, and if you're one of these people listening to this review, I'm not going to say sorry, just a big fuck you, but one of those people that wear sandals and shorts in the summer when they're outside in town, even though they don't live in town, thinking they're cool and hip. It's, That's not why I'm angry. No. That's just a small piece of why I'm angry. I just went to see Monsters University and I'm severely disappointed. It really was. It says a lot for a film, especially a Pixar film, when the short film prior to the film has more heart, more soul, and more emotion than the film that's based on supposedly a huge franchise. A film that's supposedly got a huge fan following. And a film that's meant to be, it's taken years to produce. And yet they produced this. You see, even the cat doesn't like it, and the cat didn't see it. It's just... It could be me, alright? It could be me being British and not getting the whole university college humour thing that, the Americans do so well again and again and again. With Animal Party and Animal House and the plethora of college comedy films that they released back in the 80s. Maybe that's where all the humour lies in, because I just didn't get it. There was some funny moments, but most of those were either shown in the trailer and they were repeated on screen so many times that you just, you grew bored of them, and there wasn't anything there at all. This movie was basically The Internship. If you've seen The Internship, you've seen Monsters University. If you've seen any film where they start off at the bottom and they've got some rivals and they have to beat the rivals, then they get to the top and then they win, and it's happy-go-lucky, everyone wins. It's been done. I wouldn't mind if it was anyone else, but the fact that it's Pixar. It's Pixar. It's not Disney. This isn't the excuse that Wreck-It Ralph produced. We can excuse Wreck-It Ralph because Disney did Wreck-It Ralph under the supervision of Pixar. Pixar didn't make Wreck-It Ralph, so Disney can fuck it up all they want because it's Disney and they mess up a lot of things. But this is Pixar. This is Finding Nemo. This is Toy Story, and it's not like Pixar have ever done sequels before. It's not like this is their first foray into sequels. They did Toy Story 2, which was okay. It wasn't as good as Toy Story, but it was forgivable. It was good. And then Toy Story 3, which just blew everyone out of their seats and created waterworks in every single seat. And it was amazing. And then they do this. This is coming from a huge fan of Pixar, and I loved Monsters Inc. I loved it. I loved how it was completely different. However, this was back when every single Pixar film was different. Every single Pixar film had a different story, a different character, and a different trial on a different basis. Because back then, Pixar were experimenting. They'd recently got into using fur, so they thought they would use it in Monsters Inc. With Finding Nemo, they wanted to try water textures. With Toy Story, they just wanted to bring toys to life. And I was expecting a hell of a lot more from Pixar. This could be forgiven if it was a Disney film, or if it was any other film. Or if this was a DreamWorks film, this film could be forgiven, but it can't because it's Pixar and it just deserves a hell of a lot better treatment than this. The story and the imagination was just nowhere. Absolutely nowhere. There was no heart, there was no soul, there was no moving scenes whatsoever. It literally felt like when I was watching Sullivan and Mike on screen, they were doing impressions of Sullivan and Mike. They weren't being their characters. And John Goodman and Billy Crystal can do well. They can do well. You just look at Monsters Inc. They pull it off great. But in this one they don't. They try and throw in a few cameos for fan service. And yes, it got a few nods like, oh look, there's the snowman, or oh look, there's that. And it's nice, but it doesn't excuse it at all. And the fact that, I hate to ruin or break anyone down here, but the fact that, the lady who played Roz in the first film died, and that they bring Roz back for a short cameo, it just cheapens it even more. I understand in Toy Story 3, Ernest did die, so they couldn't bring back Ernest to do Slinky. But they got a decent impressionist that sounds like Slinky. It at least sounds like him, not someone trying to do a really bad Roz impression. I mean, anyone can go, hi guys, and do the whole Roz voice. It's not hard to do. But to do it perfectly so it sounds like her, that's a hell of a lot hard to do, and they just didn't. I'm not going to have this entire review ranting about the crappy couples in the audience or how shit the movie was, because the movie was good. Okay, the animation was top notch as always. The lighting, the camera work, everything was brilliant. It's just the story and the writing was terrible. I just expected a lot more from Pixar. Everything looked brilliant and beautiful and was very well created and designed, but the jokes fell flat, the story fell flat, and the heart and the soul and the emotion just fell flat. Now, the short film prior to it, The Little Blue Umbrella, was brilliant. I was watching that with my mouth open the entire time. It was beautiful to look at. It really, it even shocked you in some scenes. You're watching this opening and you have no idea what the hell it is. You have no idea if it's live action or if it's CG or it just looks perfect. And I don't know why, but every single time I go to see a Pixar or Disney related CGI movie, I always forget there's going to be a short film at the beginning. And every single time I'm never disappointed. Every single time that 3 minutes of magic that they produce just completely blew away Monsters University. Almost as well as Paperboy and Wreck-It Ralph. That film was just amazing compared to Wreck-It Ralph. It's going to be coming to the case where I'm going to see a Pixar movie and every single time the short story is going to be a hell of a lot better than the main feature, which shouldn't be the case. It's meant to be a double feature. It's meant to be this short story warms you up, gets you into the movie action, and then you watch an even better film that they've taken years to create. And it just didn't feel like they've taken years to create. It literally felt, watching this, like this was a straight-to-video feature. With regards to the plot and the writing, this could have been done in a TV series or a short on TV. It just didn't feel like a Monsters Inc. movie at all. It was terrible. As I keep saying, if this wasn't Pixar, it wouldn't be as bad. It wouldn't be as terrible. But it's because these guys are Pixar. They created worlds out of thin air. They can they can shit better than this. That they could roll over and an idea would be produced. And if this is the way Pixar sequels are going, then there's no hope. There is no hope. They got away with it twice with Toy Story. Twice they made two excellent films. One better than the other. And yet, they just really snuffed this one up. Okay, it's not the first time Pixar have snuffed up. They made the terrible Cars. And then they made the terrible Cars 2. But, Cars is... You've got to like Cars. You either don't like Cars or you do like Cars. and it's one way or the other. Monsters Inc. There was a hell of a lot of people that liked Monsters Inc. I thought that if they took the franchise, they could make it slightly better, but they didn't. They just missed out everything that was in Monsters Inc. Everything that made it what it was. And they just failed miserably. I wasn't expecting to do this. I wasn't wanting to do a bad review for a Pixar movie, but it was bound to happen. And I'm never going to watch Cars all the way through again. So other than Cars being the only bad Pixar movie, this has finally become a bad Pixar movie. It just didn't have anything that a Pixar movie should have. And quite frankly, I'm rather disappointed. And the annoying couple of things happen, but I can't let that affect the movie. The movie was crap to begin with. They just rubbed salt in the wound, really. But I literally can't think of anything good to say about the film, other than how amazing it looked and how great it was. It just felt like there was soul missing from the movie. I felt like they could have done so much better than they did. And to be honest, Pixar, they feel like they're getting lazy, There's rumours of a Toy Story 4 on the way. That would just, to be honest, kill the franchise for me, because the film ended so perfectly. You guys are Pixar. You don't need to constantly rehash your franchises over and over and over again. You're not meant to be Disney. You're not meant to be this money-making machine who doesn't care about its fans. You're meant to do stuff because you got into filmmaking because you loved it, because you like it, because you care about it, because you want to make the audience feel how you feel when you create something on the screen, not because you want to sell more Monsters Inc. toys. Just pull your finger out your ass and do a hell of a lot better. Because I'm disappointed in you guys, really. Your next film better be something great, and I mean really something. Because guys, you just failed, really, big time. Failed.